Welcome, friends. In this session, Success at CA Exam Session 2, I, CA Ashish Gupta, Joint Director, Board of Studies Academics, welcomes you all. Now, student, in this session, we shall take up the paper number 2 of CA Final Level Advanced Financial Management. AC का temperature. In this chapter, not chapter, in this topic, in the today's lecture, basically we are now, since we are very near to our examination, so here we shall see what are the important tips. In addition to that, I will discuss with you the mock test paper number 2 that has been held recently. So uh, what are the structure of the question, etc. I will discuss with all that. Now, student, you are requested to post your queries through the chat box and as well as through the this is mobile app. So whatever mode possible for you, you can send your queries to me so that I can answer the same side by side. Of course, in the end, I shall keep the 15 minutes or 10 minutes spare for your queries as well. Now let us start our discussion for this session. So first of all, now in these days, the doubt comes into our mind how we shall proceed in these days, because time almost we are in the, you can say, in the final mode of our preparation. So in these days, we should start winding up our syllabus and thoroughly reviewing the same and ensuring none of the topic left unattended. It is very important. Sometimes what happens when we were preparing our for the when we have in-depth preparing for any topic, so it may be some possible that we may skip some topic saying that we will do it later on. So now it is a proper time, because if you now skip this topic and you keep it postponed for your exam one day before examination, then it will become a problem for you, because at that moment of time, the time is very stretched one. Of course, when you are reading any new thing, it will also create a confusion in your mind, and ultimately it hamper your overall preparation. So my request to you, please go through the topic that you have skipped earlier now. And as I told you, don't skip any topic. And most important, if required, master the basic concept such as time value of money, NPV, cost of capital, etc. Why I am telling this to refer this concept? Because time value of money is basis of the very many decisions, like in case of a bond valuation or in case of a capital advanced capital budgeting decisions, and even many international capital budgeting decisions. So there all the concept of time value of money is applied. So my request to you, please go through this concept very well in advance. Even the cost of capital also have a relevance. Why this has a relevance? Because as I told you in my earlier lectures, the topic of security valuation is the reverse of the topic of cost of capital, because at the intermediate level, the cost of capital topic involves the calculation of cost of capital, where the price of the security is given and the regular income on that security is given to you. In addition, some growth rate may also be given to you, and you need to require the KE, that is cost of equity. Now here you will given the cost of equity that also we can compute it through the using of the CAPM model as per the systematic risk level of the company, and on that basis you decide what is the best price or what is the justified price for the security. So for that purpose, it is very important that you should be also thorough with the cost of capital. Of course, sometime a student have asked very good question. He said, "Yes, sir, do we need to refer the Walter model, etc., Linter model, Walter model?" So my submission here is that now these models are basically related to your dividend decisions, and since dividend decisions are not no more part of this AFM paper, so you can skip this topic. But basics of the Walter model, and basic of the Walter model was that if the uh, core KE is less than, or we can say if the internal rate of growth, or we can internal rate of return is more than our KE, so we should not declare any dividend. We should reinvest the same. Okay, so that's why it is very important that we should be well versed with the basics of this type of things. Otherwise, they are not directly applicable for your examination. Jyoti saying good evening, beta. Good evening, beta. Now I am audible. Okay, sorry, I was on a little bit minute. Now these days, just make small notes or in the bullet point form for revision one day before examination, because now here the one day before examination the time is very least. Okay, you cannot read all the material in one day, so it is better you just make small notes so that they can be referred one day before examination. Next, understand the logic behind each and every concept. Of course, you have practiced a lot, but it is a time to revise. Just only one, just make a quick look at what are the basic concepts are behind the same and what are the logic behind the same, because ultimately this will help you to crack in the examination. The level of understanding is, it is always, remember please, sometime it is not the time that you go beyond the very in-depth analysis. The advanced mathematics logic may not be required that much. So just have a basic understanding of the concepts and then proceed. Refer all ICAI publications available on ICAI website. It is very important. Okay, whatever is available on ICAI website, please do refer them. Okay, so because sometimes what happens, student may also refer some old study material, etc. So because with the passage of time, the concept may have undergone the changes. So it is always better you refer the ICAI study material that is available, ICAI publication that is available on ICAI website. Refer examiners' comments on the performance of candidate from the previous session answer available on the ICAI website. Now, student, it is very important. Learn from the mistakes of the others. So whenever, because see what happens, if you see the suggested answer, in the addition to suggested answer, there are some examiners' comments on the performance of candidates. So what are these performances? These performance of the candidates are basically from the previous suggested answer, because here they give or they pinpoint where the examiners have committed mistake. Okay, where the examiners have committed a mistake, and on that basis you can avoid these mistakes in your own examination. Okay, so it is very important. Now, question rises, sir, how many? Because one time one student has asked me, sir, from the previous tested answer, from the at least two or three previous tested answers that are available on website, you will have a fair idea of where you can commit the mistake. So, do you not to go too much far away from this for this tested answer? Whatever available on the website, you can refer the same. Okay, don't ignore the theoretical portion of the study material, because uh, see, it is very important. Refer, then is a, don't ignore the theoretical portion of the study material at all. Now, student, here what happens? A question comes. Generally, I have heard such student normally say that there are only three chapters of the theory in the study material. And when I ask them what are the three chapters, they say chapter number one, that is corporate policy, strategic policy and relationship with the financial management. And then there is a topic number, say securitization, topic number seven. And then they say startup. They say only there are three topics are theoretical topic. Of course, they are theoretical dominated topics, but remember that it is very important that you refer theory for all the chapters, because when you refer all the chapters, what happens, it gives you two type of benefits. One is it clarifies your concept. Sometimes you may have some doubt in numerical, so then you will have a it will enlighten you about the concepts. Okay, your doubt may not be that much, or there it can also be resolved by knowing the concept. And also that sometimes even a paper setter can ask the question from the theoretical portion as well. So don't skip the theory of the other numerical oriented topic as well. Now, very important, try to attempt at least one mock test in examination like conditions to locate your mistakes, shortcomings, which can be avoided in the main examination. It is kind of a rehearsal, full dress rehearsal. Okay, so once you are, because at this moment of time, you have also gone through your complete syllabus, your preparation is in full swing. So now it is the best time to judge your ability. Okay, attempt any mock test condition. So generally these mock tests are conducted by the branches. Okay, if you could not take these tests taken by the branch, then you can do it at your own. And since the solutions are available on the website, you can assess yourself. Okay, generally what happens, student normally see the mock test that has been hosted on ICAI. So my request to you, don't look at before just before attempting them. Just take out a printout of them, fix up a time and take the mock test. Okay, don't pay heed to the rumors, especially toxic contents, videos on the social media. It is very important. Now, sometime there may be some rumor like any addition, deletion from the syllabus, whatever, anything, because sometimes any information from the ICI may be interpreted by the different people in a different manner. So sometimes they give their own version. So my request to you, before going for any version or any rumor, please contact ICI for clarification. Okay, especially for the videos on the social media, please avoid the same. Next, contact BoS ICAI for any clarification, information, and on amendment. Sometime if you have any issue like amendments, etc., you can contact us. For your information, please note that there is no such amendment applicable in a paper of advanced financial management. Of course, recent developments takes place and you should be aware of them. Now, if I tell you about that, if the recent fiasco of the IndusInd Bank, so what does this indicate? This bank, basically, this is bank. This relates to the, we can say, translation exposure thing, because there are some issues in accounting issues and that relating to the derivative instruments. So we can say that it is kind of you should be aware this kind of a latest developments that are taking the place. And very now it is I think it is a very quite bit old fact that the LIBOR is no more. Now there are alternative reference rates are being used. Okay, now there is another concept is coming like T plus zero settlement in the capital market. So you should be aware all this development. And my request to you, you can refer any financial newspaper on a daily basis. So that will help you to combat this type of you can keep yourself abreast with the latest development. So this is latest development is very important. Now I discuss with you the structure of the question paper. So as you know that our question paper consists of two parts. Part 1, MCQ based case scenario questions, and this is consist of 30 marks. Okay, then the descriptive question, this is consist of 70 marks. So normally these case studies can be three, case scenario three can be three or it can be four, but overall number of questions will be 15 of 2 marks each. Okay, 15 questions of 2 marks each, so it consists of 30 marks. Now when we talk about the descriptive part, so each question will be carry 14 marks, and there will be given 6 questions, out of which you will have to attempt 5 questions. Okay, so sometimes this is okay, you got it. So it is very important that you should understand the, and accordingly you have need to devote the time for your examination. Now when we talk about the question paper, one very important point to be noted that in every question paper there are some instructions have been given. Of course these instructions are repetitive, but my request to you, before even these are repetitive in nature, still it is better you go through these instructions again. Okay, as in the descriptive questions, one question is compulsory, first question is compulsory, and out of remaining you have to attempt four. However, in case of MCQs, all questions are compulsory, so instructions need to be go through religiously. Okay, now we come to 1 day before examination. One second. Now it is come 1 day before examination. So when we talk about 1 day before examination, so revise what you have already done. It is very important. Never try any new topic, because sometime trying any new topic, if you could not get understanding, or if you could not develop any more confidence on this topic, you will lose your overall confidence. Because whenever CA exams come, it has been even in my time when I was doing the CA around 30 years back. So same position was with me as well. So what used to happen when we are very much worried, oh, what will happen tomorrow? All this happens with each student. So at this moment of time, don't try any new topic unless until you are very sure. My request to you, please don't try to it. Don't try to attempt any new question at your own, as getting wrong answer will lead to lose of your confidence. It is better whatever the question you attempted, you attempt the same. Even you look at the same answers, because never try the question at your own, because sometimes see what happens if you got the wrong answer, na, you will lose the confidence. And one very important point, sometimes we feel that, oh, I forgot everything. Oh, I forgot everything. I could not, I'm not able to recalling the same. I'm not able. Don't worry, student, it happens with everyone. Because when we, if you have prepared very well, once you will sit in your examination and you start answering the question, you will see that you are recalling each and every step. So never keep on your, because sometimes what happens, if I am saying, it normally happens with the student, and it happens used to be happen with me in the night when I start sleeping, I used to recall this topic, us topic mein kya tha, that I thinking that way. Now see, I'm imagining something. Okay, but I could see in the examination, question is before me. I can answer the same. But when question is even not before me, imagining the question in my mind and then getting their answer is it impossible. Okay, then I will start losing the confidence. So my request to you, uh, please don't uh, try to recall the things. Okay, you will, if you are prepared well, then you will recall everything in your examination. Okay, now next is refer bullet points and small notes for theoretical papers prepared earlier. Now the preparation that you have made these days, that will work for you in the 1 day before examination. Just have a bullet point, unless and until you need any more clarification on any point, you are getting some doubt, then you can refer the study material. Otherwise, referring the bullet point will be quite suffice. For numerical papers, practice questions with small working notes and calculations. Now, student, please note that 1 day before examination, time is not that much that you attempt each and every question. So this is the time, of course, when you attempt your question in the examination, you need to give them in a proper format with proper working, etc. But now this is the time when you have to prepare you. You just need to prepare yourself by just making some simple calculation. Okay, practicing question, just making the simple working and calculations. Okay, one day before examination, stay away from the mobile phone and avoid discussion with your peers on any question, as difference of opinion can lead to confusion or panic. It is very common thing. Okay, because what happens one day before examination, if you discuss any question, okay, over the phone, then it can create a panic with you. Okay, now it may not be possible that your views may be similar, so avoid this kind of a thing. Or WhatsApp, social media, please avoid, completely avoid. Even you start avoiding from now onwards. Even at the earliest, you can skip them. Please keep them on a hold for until your examinations are over. Now keep your admit card, pen, and other stationery items, especially calculators, for numerical papers in advance so that nothing could be mixed out last minute. Now it is very important. Whenever you go for your examination, so admit card is number one. Okay, I don't. I think there are some admit card and some proof of identity, etc. Whatever the examination requirements are there, please take it with. Make them arrange one day before your examination in the night. Pen, other stationery items, or especially calculators. In AFM paper, you cannot move without calculator. So it is better you keep the calculator in a working condition. Or sometime I always advise student to carry the two calculators. Of course, sometimes they're not allowed to. I don't know, one in the last BOS for the success, one student has asked me that, sir, we are not allowed to carry two calculators in examination. But I don't know how this, why this doubt has come into mind, because yeah, I think I have confirmed from the examination. They said there are no such any type of restriction for but of course you cannot carry the scientific calculator in your examination. You can, whatever the instruction for the calculators have been given to you, like simple calculator, that is allowed. It is very important. Take proper sleep. One day before examination, take a proper. Of course, you will not that much sleep. मैं आपको सही बताऊं, नींद तो आती नहीं है रात को, but फिर भी try to sleep. Okay. Okay, so now I know that it is quite impossible for a sleep, but please try to have a sleep, because if you wake up the whole night, now next day your examination may not then it will create a problem for you. Take proper meal before going to the examination. It is very important. Okay, sometime students skip their lunch. Okay, so my request to you, please don't do, because if you start feeling unwell in the examination, then because time is 3 hours for everyone. Okay, so then it will create a problem for you. Now, important during the examination, read instructions. Okay, as I told you thoroughly, brainstorming. Now, since you get the question paper 15 minutes before examination, so it is a time of brainstorming, that which question you are attempt first, or which question you will go through, because now this is 15 minutes very important. And it helps you to make judgment that which question you will tackle the in later part of time. It helps a lot of, so it will give you a fair idea that how will you proceed. Now first you start with your strength. It is very important. What you know well, you start attempting the same. Okay, it is very important, because sometimes what happens, uh, students start attempting those questions that they don't know, have any idea, or they try to attempt the question. So they, unless if they could not get the answer, they will lose the confidence. And what if they know the answer, the questions that they can attempt very well, even that will be created, not be very easily to solve. very easy for them to solve it. Okay. And next, time management. It is very important. So efficiently managing your time is very important, because see what happens. See, everyone has, because since in our time, these MCQ exam questions were not used to be there. So I cannot give you any very idea that you should attempt MCQ first, then attempt descriptive later on, and whatever. So it is up to you. Okay, what you find the comfortable, the way you may proceed with this, but at least allocate 35 to 45 minutes for MCQs, because sometimes MCQs also involves the complexity, like some even nitty-gritties. It also involves some, and even sometimes they involve the calculation. Now, sometimes student ask, "Sir, do we need to present the calculation?" No, you not to need to present any calculation. Okay, you have to just mark the choices as per the requirement. I think in a sheet that has been provided to you in the examination, where you have to encircle or darken the circles. So, but working is required, and you can do this working in your rough work portion in your answer book. So in the answer book, on the last page, you can write rough work and you can carry out these calculations. And next important instructions. Generally, see what happens. Sometimes now I'm audible. Oh, sorry. Well, sometime my hand hit to this mic. Now it is very important. Now, what are the instructions? Generally, in numerical questions, these are followed by some instructions like present value factor table, rounding of decimal points, okay, and even the exponential values have been given to the number of the days to be used, like number of days. See why this is instructions are given. Like in case of a number of days, these numbers can be 360 a year or 365 a year. If nothing has been mentioned, you can assume anyone, but if some instruction have been given, you have to follow this instruction religiously. Now in the question, if it has been mentioned that assume 360 days a year, then you have to use the same. If you use 365 days, you will lose all the marks. Even regarding instruction have been given regarding rounding off, because normally there is confusion regarding the rounding of the answers. A very common question comes to me like, sir, up to what decimal point we should round off the answer. Now see, if some instructions have been given, go by the same. Otherwise, try to take the hint from the question as well. Like in case of a foreign exchange questions, if the quotations have been given up to 4 decimal points, you follow the same. Okay. Now, so far as the question of capital budgeting is concerned, in this case, we have to use PV factors, or even PV factors has to be used in a case of security valuation. Now, in this case, you can use this PV factors up to 3 decimal points. It is always better, because 4 quite lengthy, or you can say it is quite very cumbersome, and 2 will be very minimal. Okay, it will not give the fair judgment. So 3 up to PV factor, if nothing has been mentioned, you can take up to 3 decimal point. Now question comes like in case of a capital budgeting decisions, up to what decimal point we should round off. Now you see the amount involved. Now if the amount involved is in a million or in a crore, so even the my advice to you, you can round off up to 4 decimal point, because when you multiply up to 4 decimal point up to with the crore figure, it matters a lot. So you have to take the hint from your. Now, in case of a security valuation question, generally decimal after rounding off up to do 2 decimal point is okay, because generally the prices of security are quoted up to 2 decimal points. So all these questions can all these you can say practices can be followed from the exam. You can say get a hint from followed as per the hint from the questions as well. Now next we come accuracy. Very important. If time permits you, okay, so it is you can cross check is very important. because how you can cross check, sometime you can get some hint. Okay, this because sometime very in our time what used to happen, if I share with you now, in this type of a paper, normally we used to expect the answer in the rounded off figure. Once our answer is rounded off, so we used to be very happy. Oh, मेरा answer ठीक हो गया है. My answer is all right. But what used to happen in my one examination, I remember around say 30 years back, in our one costing paper, one question has come, and in the I remember that in my in the examination hall where I was sitting, when I we come out from the examination hall, so everyone said कि my question got the rounded off answer, and they were very happy. But myself and one or two more students was not getting the answer in rounding off. There were answers was something figure like say zero. I don't remember it. It was 0.667. Another answer was 0.333, or you can say 1/3. It was somewhere 2.3. So we got worried. I think our answer was wrong, but I was confident that my answer is not wrong. But when the result came, I scored very good marks in the same paper, whether other candidate lost, because even my friend has got the rounded off answer. He has even lost marks in this question. And so it is very important. If you can have the cross check, you can cross check the same. Now, when we talk about the theoretical questions, the answer should be filled up with the relevant details. Now, it has been observed that because sometimes examiners have complained that students write the sketchy answers or very vague answers, and they give the answers based on their general knowledge. Or we can say it is a kind of a generic answer. No, student, please note that. It is a specialized paper. Okay. So the keywords should be reflected in the theoretical answers as well. Okay, because of course, when we talk about the derivative, any student can write a good essay on the derivatives. What they because sometimes even some student indulge trading in the derivative market, but don't see our here the purpose of derivative in this. Even in every class I tell you, of course we give some idea of speculation in the derivative, but our purpose of this teaching in this subject is to hedge it through the derivative. So please remember that. Please insert the good points or key points in your answer. Okay, accordingly, the generic answer should be avoided. Now, working notes. Whenever you give the main answer, it should be duly supported by the adequate working or clearly indicating how the figures provided in the question have been derived. It is very important because your answer should be, see what happens sometime even I have seen the student, they give the main answer correctly, but working they give in the rough work, so they will not get the marks. Of course you are not supposed to write 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, but you have to give reasonable working notes for any figure that you have computed or any base figure on which you are taking any decision. Now I give you a very example, very simple. Now student, please note that when we now question arises, sir, how up to what is the strength or what is the length of the working note should be there. Now for this, please refer ICAI study material because we have given there reasonable working notes. Okay, from there you can have a fair idea. Now sometimes students say, sir, can I write working notes in the beginning then main answer, or main answer in the beginning or working note? It is up to you only. It is up to your choice, because ultimately since stepwise marking scheme is there, for the steps you got the marks. Okay student, now let me check is whether any query is there. Okay, now next during pay attention to the verbs. It is very important. See, you have to pay attention to the verbs because sometimes like word evaluate, advise, explain. So these are three things. Evaluate means you have to evaluate critically. Okay, maybe you can extend more your answer by giving their other aspects of your answer as well, like critics, something like this. Advice means they want your advice, so your answer will be incomplete without advice. Okay, explain generally requires only explanation of any basic things or any concept or any fact. So it is to be very noted very important that you have to follow this, very pay attention to the verbs. Okay, now next is don't panic if stuck. Sometimes you may see got stuck in the complex problem. So please don't panic and don't cross your answer. Whatever you have attempted, leave it at there. Okay, because sometimes you say that, okay, I will go through again or I will refer it again. So, okay, but don't cross it, because sometimes even whatever you have done, it may be extend to that extent, it may be correct. And since stepwise marking there, it will taken care of. So, okay, so it is very important that don't panic. Okay, it is more important that don't panic. Okay, now last is control your emotions. In a numerical questions, there is a number game and there is a temptation to start with those numbers to reach the correct answer. See, it is normally what happens. Sometimes uh, it was normally happens that we in the examination, uh, see, whenever taking the examination, oh, we say, oh, it is a same question. Okay, so of course it is a benefit for us, it is a bonus for us, but please remember, control your emotions, because even it happens with me, since I am handling this paper for last 15 years. So more than 15 years I am handling this paper. Even this problem I face. Sometimes the question paper comes to me. They are in study materials. The discounting rate is 10%, but in the question paper, if it has come 12%, I don't know what happens to my mind. When I start solving the question, automatically I start using 10%. So because many times, so it is very important that we should control our emotions. So we have to be very conscious one. Okay. Of course, it is a number, because inclusive or exclusive, both words are opposite to each other. In the study material, it may be said that inclusive of, but question paper may say exclusive of. So you have to pay attention to this. Next, stepwise marking. Okay. Sometimes it is not possible to reach to the conclusion part of the question, and you may stuck as I told you. So please don't cut it. Okay, and don't devote much time on this. Stepwise marking, taken care of it. And it is generally happens in accounting paper, because even as a commerce student, unless and until our balance sheet used to tally, we say our paper is incomplete. But no, students, in my life, my study time, I never remember my balance sheet have been matched except my 12th class examination. Post my senior secondary school certificate examination, I think during my college days in even CA, my balance sheet used to never match. Okay, in the examination, because at that time some entry may have I have used to skip, but ultimately I used to score a good marks because stepwise marking is there. Final check. Before handing over the answer sheet, just check out your roll number are correctly filled up, number of extra answer books properly tied up, and then you hand over them. So it is always better that you complete your question paper at least 5 minutes before, so that you can relax after the and if the time permits, you can go through it again. After going through the again, if some time is left, then it is a time to take a deep breath and then just hand over the sheet to it. So it was some points that I've discussed you. Now, students, sometimes students say that, sir, share some magic formula with us. Of course, I can start with some discussion with you on how we can do. Now, let us see. First of all, some students say, sir, what topics are important topics? Now, student, please note that all topics are equally important. I never say that this topic is more important and this is least important, because some coaching people say that it is more important. No, because since you know that our question paper structure is like that, each question carries a subparts, and these subparts can be from the diverse topics. So you cannot take the risk of skipping any topic. It is very important. Now, even sometimes students say, sir, okay, Just still you tell us. So I just, on my perception, I will say, see, all topics are important. I'm saying again, again. From, if you ask me, I give importance to some topics like security valuation. It is one of the important topic because normally some way or other way the questions are asked in this exam, in the examination. Then derivative. Of course, there are limited set of derivative and analysis and valuation. Of course, there is a limited set of questions on the derivative analysis of valuation. That different questions are generally repetitive in nature. But concept of derivative is important from the point of view of the forex and interest rate risk management because there the techniques of derivatives are used to hedge this risk. So once you are gone through with the gone through with the topic of derivative, it will help you to tackle the topic of foreign exchange exposure and risk management in a good manner. Okay, then there is a topic of foreign exchange exposure. Okay, then there is a for. So this is a topic, one of the important topic, and normally questions asked from this topic as well. Now then a question topic comes merger and acquisitions. Generally, to question every time comes from this topic. So of course there are other topics as well, but at least four topics I consider were very important from examination point of view as well. Now next comes, sometimes students say, sir, share with us some magic tricks of formula. So one formula I will magic formula I will share with you. No answer, no marks. Please remember that. See what happens. Sometimes we may have a habit that if any question we don't know, we don't understand the question, or we don't have a fair idea of how to complete it, this solve it completely. So we know only a small part of it. So normally we avoid the same question, and we devote our time on any question that we know very well. My request to you, please attempt the same as well as this question, because sometime what happens, even a small part can give you a some award you some marks, and that can help you to even pass the paper, or even you can get the exemption if you attempt, because say even you this much knows, and if you score 1, overall your score was 59, and if you add this number you can even get the exemption. Okay, so this is very important. So please don't avoid any question. And since very another magic formula, since there is no negative marking, okay, so it is always smart to guess. Okay, because see what happens, there is no negative marking. Okay, in MCQs you don't know any answer, but at least you can have a guess. Okay, start eliminating what the option you seems that totally irrelevant. At least you can start eliminating them. Okay, and you can get the answer. Otherwise you just mark randomly any option so that you can get some marks if it is a correct. Okay, and please always ensure that you correct each and every mark, because sometimes I've noted that student have skipped the to mark the answer of some MCQs unnecessarily, they have lost the marks. So my request to you, please ensure that before handing over your OMR sheet, etc., that all answers have been marked. Okay. And very important, sometimes there is another magic formula is there. Complete as much as possible. Sometimes a student said me, sir, I have attempted only 60 marks paper. See, if you attempt 60 marks paper, then you can't expect too much, because normally by applying a percentage of 40, 80 around 40, you will score only 48 marks. Even that the two, you are the 2 marks behind your required percentage. Of course, 40 is a percentage for question paper, particular examination, particular paper, but overall you need an aggregate of 50. So that even you can lose the target. Okay, so it is very important that try to attempt as much as possible the question paper possible portion, because even if some hair cutting is there, you can guard the at least some good marks there. Now, one important another magic trick is past suggested answer. Now, it is very important that you should refer the past suggested answers that is available on a website. Now, students say, sir, why should I refer the past suggested answers? Now, they give you some benefit. Okay, then what they give? They give you an idea. Okay, reading actively any question gives you an understanding that what is required in the question. So you should read the question actively. Okay, now this is a question. Okay, next. It is very important. Okay, from the past suggested answer, you came to know how much, how we will work out any answer. Okay, how much working notes we shall need to do there, and what is our time allocation. And minimum marks. See, it also gives you an idea how much if I attempt this question paper in such manner, at least I will got a maximum to maximum this much of marks. Even you will can have an idea of minimum marks that you can score. Okay. Next is becoming familiar with the structure of the question paper. Okay, so it is very important that you can understand the familiar with the structure of the question paper. Next, replicating the time pressure. And identification of unhelpful errors or behavior, like speedily reading. Okay, sometime may have a habit of speedily reading. So from there we came to know that if we do the speedily reading, it may be possible that we may skip some important points. So all this will be errors will be overcome once you refer the past tested answers. Okay, it will help you. Topics you know well, and topics. Okay, so this is a kind of a magic formula that I have shared with you. Okay, student. So this was a brief overview from my side for your preparation. Now I'm just coming to the second part of our today's session, and that is question paper that I'm discussing with you. I'm doing. Now there is our question paper MTP2 that you have you have seen this. Now in this question, if you see here this time that we have introduced two new case studies. Okay, of course, one was our earlier one. Okay, and this time there are two new case studies. So I am starting with this first case scenario, not case study, case scenario one. And this case scenario is like that. Zenith Capital, a boutique investment firm, manages portfolio for high net worth individuals, HNIs. Their lead portfolio manager, Mr. R, has been closely analyzing market trends to optimize return for their fixed income portfolio. Over the past few months, he observed fluctuations in the interest rate and anticipate a significant shift in the near future. To optimize return, Mr. R is considering three different investment strategies for clients having rupees 2 rupee 10 crore funds are interested in fixed income portfolio. Now here it gives you an idea. Okay, with which topic it relates to. Okay, each study is designed to align the client's risk appetite and future liquidity needs. Strategy A, investing the entire amount, rupees 10,000 10 crore in a single bond with a 7-year maturity to match a specific financial obligation. Okay, this is a strategy A. Now, strategy B is allocating rupees 5 crore in a short-term bonds, 1 year maturity, and rupees 5 crore in long-term bonds, 7-year maturity to balance risk and return. So here our overall corpus is investing in one type of a security, and here it is investing in a two types of security, but the duration of one security is year one, another is 7-year maturity. Okay, quite the period of this maturity is widely different. Now, strategy C, spreading rupees 10 crore investment equally across bonds with a maturity of rupee 1 to 5 crore, 1 to 5 years to ensure periodic liquidity. So here what is doing, it is allocating say 10 crore into 5 years time. So say for the 1 year, for 2 year, for 3 year, it is allocating say 2 crore each. Okay. Meanwhile, R is considering a forecasting model to predict interest rate movement. He is evaluating economic indicators such as inflation, historical rate trend, and the combination of multiple economic factors to enhance the firm's forecasting accuracy. Mr. R suggested strategy B for Mr. H and HNI, high net worth individual, having a sum of rupee 10 crore for investment in fixed income portfolios. As per the strategy, half amount on the fund is proposed to be invested in 7-year bond yielding 8% per annum. and balance 1 year short-term bond yielding 6% per annum. Interest on this bond compounded annually. Okay, so overall this is a simple case scenario. Now we start attempting their MCQ related. Based on the above case scenario, choose the correct answer to the following questions. Now the first question is, what is the primary objective of an active bond portfolio strategy? Okay, so now here when we say that active bond portfolio strategy means uh, uh, because see when we follow the fixed active portfolio strategy means see passive strategy just we invest the money and forgot, but generally for the active strategy we ensure the minimum there should be minimality of the volatility in our portfolio and should ensure the steady return. Okay, accordingly, so or we can say that we generally outperform by the market by informed investment decision. So of course this objective can also be near to it, but generally what happens when we are very informed about our decision, so generally we can outperform the market. Okay, so for this you can refer page number 6.59 of the study material where the answer is there. Okay, now next it says if HNI follows strategy A of fixed income, then which strategy is being followed? Now, when it says, then now there are different strategy have been given to you. Now, in case of a bullet strategy, see, our answer is C, that is bullet strategy. So, in a bullet strategy, see what is the bullet strategy? If we see the shape of a bullet, okay, it is pointed from at the front. Okay, so see what happens because here Mr. A is recommending a strategy A is like this, a single bond with the 7-year maturity to match the specific obligation. So here we can see that at this moment of time we are making an investment of for 7 year. Okay, at the end of this 7 year we just get the maturity of this amount, so it resemble a bullet, so that is called bullet strategy. Generally the bullet strategy word also comes in a bullet repayment, like when we are calling sometime we take a loan. Okay, so the loan can also be on a terms of amortizing mode or bullet repayment mode. So bullet repayment means we will repay the loan in a one go at the end of maturity period, whereas in case of amortization normally we amortize the amount gradually over the period of time. Okay, now in next week comes a in barbell strategy. In now I am coming to the barbell strategy. The funds are typically allocated. How they are allocated? Generally the answer is option C. Basically barbell, if we see that barbell is nothing but generally we can see that it is a kind of a weightlifting instrument where the weight are there. Okay, so here you can see that somewhere we are investing amount in a different, to say here it is investing for a 1 year, here we are investing the amount for 7 year. So it is kind of a barbell strategy. So by dividing the amount equal in a bonds with a different maturity sorry periods. Okay, clear? Sorry, my sorry, my answer, this answer is B, not C. It is answer B because we have equally invested the amount in 1 year and we invested 15 years. Okay, now we come to the next strategy. ladder strategy. Okay, in a ladder strategy, if you see the ladder strategy, you see what happens in a like ladder. We invest the amount for different periods. Okay, like in our earlier example, if I am investing rupees 2 crore for the different period 1 to 5 years, okay, 2 crores, so it is kind of a ladder. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. Okay, so this is called ladder strategy. So the correct option will be C. Okay, now next comes that it is expected that the interest rate in the coming 8 years are expected to fall by 25 basis points. So if I talk you about basis points, so please tell me what is basis point means. I am waiting for your answer. What does a basis point? One basis point is equal to. Please write whatever coming to your mind so that we can. Yes, we have got one or two response. Yes. Manisha, you are nearby it too. It is decimal. Uh, Actually, one not 1%. Beta, see, Manish, beta, see, 1 basis point is equal to 1 divided by 100. Okay, of course, you are rightly saying it is a 1%. But if we write because what happened, 25 basis point means we can say into 25. Okay, so it comes, yes, Jyoti, you are right. So it comes 25%, 0.25%. So 1 basis point will equal to 0.01%. Okay, Manish. So here it is expected to fall 25 basis point each year. So right, what I do, my investment is basically in two parts. Okay, so there are two parts of my investment. 10 crore. Okay, for 10 crore rupee, 5 crore have been invested at the rate of 8%, straightforward for the 7 year. Okay, now next it says H does not withdraw amount of the fund during 7 years. That now here we have done, we have invested 5 crore. Okay, but here we have initially invested for the 1 year, then we have again reinvested for another year, then again we have reinvested for the another year. So by going this, our investment is going for the 7 year. But see, here our rate of interest will remain the 8% for 7 year, but here our rate of interest will change every year. But the thing is that our interest will start going to be reinvested. Okay, so accordingly, if I say for the first year my interest rate is 8%. Okay, sorry, interest is 6%. Okay, for second year, this interest will be 6% minus 0.25%, so it becomes 5.75%. Accordingly, it will start declining. So next year it will come 5.50%. 4 year it will become 5.25%. Okay, now since we are getting reinvested our amount, so what I say for the first year, my reinvested amount, investable amount will be 5 crore into 1.06. Okay, I am again reinvesting the same. So 1.0575 into again 1.0555. Okay, student. So by this you can get the amount. Okay, this amount will be somewhere around, this amount will come first, it will come 8.569 crore, and this amount will come around rupees 7.153 crore. Okay, so when I add up this amount and this amount, the total comes rupees 15.722 crore. So somewhere this answer is near to this. So student, I hope very good. Jyoti, you are right. Okay, beta. So now I think it is clear to you now how we have arrived this figure. So option will be our B. Okay, student. So I think now it is clear to you the case study is not that case scenario is not that complicated. And we start uh, first start reading the same, then we have thought ki oh it is very tough, but not it is that much tough. Okay, now I am coming to next case scenario. That is case scenario 2. Again, it is a new case scenario. Okay, now let us start reading the same. It says an American institutional investor is exploring investment opportunity in different countries. Before proceeding, believe a thorough uh, a, they believe a thorough analysis of options in the securities available to ensure a higher return while minimizing the risk. To achieve this objective, it informed a decision consisting of the following with the following persons with respective assigned tasks. First, Mr. A. He is entrusted with the task of analyzing various macroeconomic factors, that is historical performance of the economies in the past, present, and expectation in the future, growth of different sectors of the economies in the future, with a sign of stagnation, degradation at the present. In addition, they may also analyze the trend of the people's income and expenditure. So, you have some idea what Mr. A is doing. Now, Mass B is after receiving inputs recommendation from Mr. A. She is entrusted with the task of assessment regarding all the conditions and factors relating to demand of the particular product, cost structure of the industry, and other economic and government constraints in the same country. Okay. So next, am I audible now? Now, Mr. C. Okay, here after receiving inputs from the recommendation from MES B, he is entrusted with the task of careful examination of the company's qualitative fundamentals, which includes a comparison of prices, earning ratios of different companies. Further, in addition to examine the financial solvency, liquidity of the company, he is also advised to evaluation for the evaluation of the future growth prospects of the company identified. Now here you can see that overall This is a question relating to the topic of security analysis. You can have a fair idea about the same. Okay, now based on the above case scenario, we start solving the questions. Okay, now first is Mr. If Mr. A wants to evaluate the impact of macroeconomic trends on their potential investment, which of the factor is least likely to influence their decision? Now here they are they want to make their decision based on the economic factors, macroeconomic factors. They want to do the decision based on the macroeconomic factors. Now when they want to do the macroeconomic factors, yes, you are right, beta, the answer will be the C, because other factors are relating to macroeconomics factors. Because, okay, so but it is a barometric indicator generally for the economic indicator, but market speculation trends are basically relating to market. Okay, of course it is a macro base, but not that macroeconomic. It is not in macroeconomic range. When we talk about the macroeconomic, so the factor that are related to economic analysis will be considered there. Next is the investor learned that the inflation is expected to rise. Based on economic analysis, how might they affect their stock investment decision? Okay, now here the answer basically, when we talk about want to know okay, how our inflation will be adjusted. See, now here our knowledge of the security valuation works. Student, when security valuation as well as the concept of real interest and nominal interest works. Now see, whenever you have acquired any security, like case of a fixed income security bond, so with the increase in the inflation, of course, nominal rate of interest will rise. When the nominal rate of interest will rise, the value of fixed bond carrying fixed rate of interest will decline. But if we have acquired the equity, with the equity, generally what happens? Generally, equity returns compensate or embedded, or you can embed the inflation factor. Okay, they normally incorporate the inflation factor in the return. So generally what happens, stock prices, we can say that our stock prices are expected to rise with the rate of inflation. So the even you can refer this detail from the page number 4.7. Yes, Boni, you are correct, beta. It is the option B. Yes, Jyoti, you are also correct, beta. Okay, student. So this kind of knowledge you should have. Now next question we are coming. Which of the following techniques shall be primarily used by MES B to carry out the required part of analysis? Now MES B, what basically carry out the analysis he is doing? See, when you will see that overall, if you go through it again, once more time you go through it again, you will get an idea that Mr. A is carrying out economic analysis. Okay, Mr. MES B is conducting industry analysis. Okay, and Mr. C is conducting your company analysis. Okay, so you can have an idea. Okay, now when we talk about which technique they will use, okay, now if we see that these generally techniques, first two techniques are relating to our economic analysis. Okay, decision tree analysis is used generally relating to the we can say uh, company analysis. Okay, this is relating to our company analysis, and input output analysis is relating to our industry analysis. So the correct option will be C. Yes, you are correct, beta. Okay, now we are coming to the second last question of this case scenario. Mr. A, while analyzing industry growth, finds that certain indicator tends to peak before economy's overall growth. These indicators are best classified as. Now you can see that these are some indicators. Okay, see, when the word here, the answer of this question lies before in the question itself. Why? See here, the word is peak, and that is a word before. Before means well in advance. So well in advance means these are the leading indicators. Okay, so very simple. The answer is very simple. Even the question is just giving hint that before word is giving the hint. So the correct option will be B. Okay. Now last question is specifically the team of specifically the team of Mr. A, Ms. B, and they are interested with the task of carrying out. Now, what type of they are carrying analysis? Security analysis, of course, it is one of the option possible. But when I am writing here the term specifically, okay, because when we talk about security analysis, it consists of two parts: fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Fundamental analysis is consisting of three parts: economy analysis, industry analysis, and company analysis. That is called EIC analysis. Okay. So when we talk about this EIC analysis, and they are carrying out economy analysis, industry analysis, and company analysis, so the answer will be A. That is fundamental analysis. Okay, student. So I hope with this case study scenario question will be now clear to you. Okay, now we are moving to the case scenario question number 3. Now this is a case scenario from pick up from your case scenario booklet. Okay, that is available on ICAI website. Okay, even I think you can order them. Uh, uh, yes, you can even order them. This is a case scenario booklet. Okay, this is a case scenario booklet that you can refer for your examination, and even it is also available. See, it is a very it is not carrying that much number of pages, so even you can, now the time is not that much that left for that you can order the same. Even you can get a printout of the same. It will cost that not that much for you. Okay, so this question is basically from the case scenario. I think this is a case scenario number 20 maybe. Somewhere, yeah, it is a case scenario number 20 from this booklet, the same case scenario. Okay, student. So the since answers are questions are very simple. Okay, I just reading out. Suppose you are the risk manager of a financial institution, and your company has loaned a significant amount of 500 crore to a company X Limited for a period of 3 years at a 6% month at MCLR plus 200 basis points. You are concerned about X ability to repay the debt due to recent market volatility. To protect your institution from the potential default, you decide to purchase a credit default swap. Okay, so of course this topic relating to your derivative. Okay, to protect your institutions from the potential default, you decide to purchase credit default swap from ABC Bank and for the same notional amount. So it is very important. Here you are not borrowing the again, only the carrying you are entering into an agreement for the notional amount at a premium of 1% per year through the cash settlement. So this will be settled in cash. Okay, on the respective reset date for the same period, the actual MCLR interest rate comes out to be as follows. Okay, so this rate generally, of course, matters. Okay, now we shall see how it matters, but generally it will not that much matter here. Now, from the we start answering the question. Okay, first question is the primary purpose of credit default swap is is to increase the value of bond to protect against the default of the to provide guaranteed profit to the prior and to create a new loan. So you can see here elimination is there because nothing can be guaranteed. Okay, okay, increase the value of bond, nothing can be increased the bond, so this option will be valid option. Okay, which of the following statement is true about the CDS contract? Okay, the answer, you can see the most of questions answers are related to page number 9.40. Okay, which of the following statement is true about the CDS contract? So this is generally the one of the feature of the CDS contract. CDS contract cannot be used for the speculation. No, it is incorrect. They can also be used for the speculation, and I think to some extent, crisis of 2008, Lehman Brothers crisis is one of the reason may be the same, because the CDS have been used for the this speculation purpose. CDS contracts are governed by the government regulation. No. CDS contracts are private agreements between two parties. Yes. Generally, these are not traded on any stock exchange. So generally, they are on the kind of a OTC arrangements. CDS contract eliminates all risk of the buyer. No. It is just eliminate the default risk. Okay. Interest rate continues to be there. Okay. Interest rate continues to be there because when see here, please see, when the institution has loaned an amount of rupees 500 crore for a period of 3 months at an MCLR rate plus 200 basis point. So 200 basis point means whatever be the rate plus 2%. Now you see here the interest rate are coming down. Sorry, it is increasing. Okay, of course this is the benefit for the loaning company, but sometime it may reverse happen that interest may start going down. So CDS contract will cannot protect it from this falling in the interest rate. Okay, they can just protect the company from the default by the counterparty. Okay, which of the following statement is true about? Okay, so we can say our option is C. Okay, which organization publishes the guidelines and the rules for conducting the credit default swap? So Federal Reserve is generally the American agency. Americans RBI bank, it is Federal Reserve. They don't not concerned with it. Okay. Okay. Next is International Swap Dealer Association. So this is the body. Okay. Security Exchange Commission, it is American SEBI. Okay. World Trade Organization. No, so these options are kind of a, we can say, elimination. Okay, the correct option left with International Swap Dealer Association. As well, this is written on the page number 9.40. Now, when it says assuming no default occurs, the total premium of the company will be paid during the designated. So here, simple computation is there. Okay. Now 500 crore notional amount there. 1% is premium, and that for the 3 year. So the amount comes 15 crore. The correct option will be C. Very simple. Okay, now we are coming to the last question of this case scenario. It says, suppose if the lender defaults somewhere in the beginning of the third year of loan, after payment of interest up to 2 years, and the market value of a reference loan falls to 75 of its par value, then ABC Bank will pay company in a cash. Now, see students, it is always remember that whenever any credit default swap takes place, so the company who have sold credit default swap, they take the securities on which the default has taken the place. So now here, after 2 years, the lender has the borrower has, if suppose if lender sorry, my mistake here is I have to write here is borrower. Okay, so if the borrower has defaulted, okay, if the borrower has defaulted, so now what happens, this ABC Bank will take the loan. Okay, he will say, give me the loan, I will pay you the full amount. So accordingly, what happens, ABC Limited pays 500 crore to this company, that is our here financial institution. Okay, so they what they say, they pay 500 crore to the financial institution. Now what happens? They say कि, okay, I am paying you 500 crore for the default, but you give the loan back to me, whatever the loan. Okay, the financial institution transfer the loan to the ABC. Okay, to the ABC. Now when it transfer the loan, so its realizable value is 75%. So what it will do, it will get recovered 75% of the same, which comes 475. Sorry, 375. So accordingly, the ABC bank will say, I am recovering 375 crore from this loan and I have to pay 500 crore to you. So you do one thing, keep this loan with you. Okay, keep this loan with you. I am paying you the balance amount, and the balance amount comes rupees 125 crore. Yes, Jyoti, you are right, beta. Or we can say that rupees 500 into 1 minus 0.75. So our correct option will be C. Okay, student. So this was the you can say it is all about the part one of our the mock test paper number 2. Now I am moving to the part 2 of the mock test paper. Now this was a question number 37 from the study material, and chapter number is 10. Okay. Is from your study material. Question number 10, chapter number 5. Okay. Now this theoretical question is from the page number 7.4 of the study material. Now this question is from the chapter number 5, but it is a new question and it is basically based on reverse calculation. Because you have seen earlier the questions where you need to compute this conversion parity price, conversion premium, percentage of downside risk. Now here these values have been given to you, okay, and you have to compute this amount. Okay, so this is called reverse calculation based questions. Okay, so next is question number 2b is basically from the question number 16 from the chapter number 12. Okay, now next theoretical question is from the page number 2.6. This question is from the topic of derivative, question number 7, chapter number 9. Now question number 3b is a modified version. Okay, this is the question modified version. Of question 5 from the chapter number 12. Okay, this is question from the page number 10.53. Okay, and I don't remember, but this is from the chapter number 1. Exactly not remember the page number. This is from the chapter number 1. It is from the 10.53 from the chapter number 10. This is question 24. from chapter number 6. Now this is question from a mutual fund. So this is question number modified version of question number 20. Okay, fifth A, question number 21, chapter number 14. Okay, this is question number 16. Okay, chapter number 9. And here the question number 6A. Okay, this is the question number 3 of chapter number 11, but here it is a modified version and very important. Here the term nominal in the question paper, in the here their no, term is real in the study material, but here it has been with the nominal. Okay. Now next is question number, and even we have given some additional instructions. Okay. This is question number 3, chapter number 3. Okay, theoretical question, page number 15.14. So student, with this we come to the end of our overall discussion on the MTP2. Now in today's session we have discussed overall the various strategies, how we can wind up the syllabus these days. Okay, and what are the, so let me check if we have received any queries are there. Okay student, so we come to the end of this session. ये सेशन ओपन कैसे करते हैं, मतलब वो बच्चों को परमिट करते हैं बोलने के लिए? नहीं, नहीं है। देख लीजिए उसकी इमेज लेना। Student, if you have any question, you can ask me. Hello. Uh, Student, if you have any query, you can ask me over right now. Okay, student. So even after the session, if you have any query, you can send your email to at this email ID sfm-final@icai.in, or even you can contact me over the telephone, or you can send your query through a mobile app as well. So don't hesitate to contact me over the telephone because it saves you a lot of time. Yes, Jyoti. Thank you. Okay. So you can have a it will save your time, so you can, or even you can connect with us through this portal. But still, if you have any relating to any query AFM, you can contact with me, you can have a contact with me. I will resolve your queries. So student, thank you very much for this attending this session, and I give my convey my best wishes to you for your success in your examination and come out with the flying colors. And I hope next time whenever we have an interaction, you will become the chartered accountant. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank. No, just hold for some time. Vijit, pick your message. Okay, student. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now that you can close the session. Okay.